Hi, I'm Nick Peters of Deeper Waters Apologetics, and I affirm the virgin birth. One of the tropes of video games today is the silent protagonist. This is a guy who is the main hero of the story and says very little, if anything at all. Famous examples include Mario and Super Mario RPG, Chrono and Chrono Trigger, and Link in the Legend of Zelda series. Also, our now silent protagonist mentality, Cloud Strife in Final Fantasy VII is the quintessential strong and silent type who says very little except what he absolutely thinks needs to be said. Someone like myself on the spectrum can relate to this. If I can communicate something verbally or non-verbally, I will normally choose non-verbally. There can be times when I even want to say something and yet there appears a kind of mental block in my mind and I cannot say what I want to say. I have been behind someone in the grocery store checkout line wanting to tell them to get the divider so I can put my groceries down, and I find myself unable to do it. You could say this is just around strangers, but that is not so. I would do the same with my own family and sometimes with my own friends. I would prefer to give emotion from my body in some way than to speak. It's not that I don't like you, it's just that this is much more comfortable to me. I understand also that this can make me more difficult to read by some other people who can think it's rude. If someone asks a question, aren't you supposed to speak and answer? That's really the way that many neurotypicals shape the story, and it makes it extremely difficult for those of us on the spectrum who are either entirely nonverbal SMR, or who just prefer to use nonverbal communication when we can. It's also painful then when I do get to start speaking and I can be shut down. It makes it even harder to open up. Sadly, this has happened at churches. If I am speaking in a small group setting in church, it's easy for me to forget that not everyone is as excited about theology and history with Scripture as I am. I have been accused of trying to take over groups. It's extremely hard if I think my input is not desired or wanted. So what can you do outside the spectrum? When someone comes to your church who doesn't speak a lot or at all, don't treat them like there's something wrong with them. They could be on the spectrum. If they are, communicate in a way that is comfortable to them. If they do speak, be kind and courteous. Let them speak and realize it's a great thing. That doesn't mean to give embarrassing praise, but it means to appreciate what they say. If you disagree, that's okay, and you can voice that in a good way, but at least appreciate it. Along these lines also, we don't do good at personal evangelism. That involves talking to people we don't know often in a one-on-one setting. I would much rather talk to a crowd of 100 people than to talk to one person like that. It's odd, but public speaking really isn't a problem for me like it is for others. It's individual speaking that's the difficulty. That's my insight today on how to make your church more autism friendly. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Right now we're really close to 100 subscribers, and I'd like to see you all help me reach that goal. Please also consider supporting my Patreon to enable me to make more videos like this. There will be a link below. And as always, I affirm the virgin birth.